Good morning. Today we're going to teach Chelsea how to hold her guitar correctly. Ready? Okay. So, first thing you got to do is pick your guitar up. Tilt it like this. Stick your right arm out and hug your guitar. Yeah, that's good. Nice and high, right? Now your other arm, stick it straight out. Yes. I like how you're holding this here. Good. Drop your shoulder down like this. Tilt your arm up like this and bring it straight so that your fingers are straight up and down on the guitar. The main thing you want to do is you want your wrist to be straight, right? So you can either bring the guitar neck up, drop your shoulder down so that your wrist can be straight, right? If your wrist is straight, then you'll get a stronger grip than if you bend your wrist like this. I'm sure you've seen lots of guitar players who play like that, a little like this, trying a hot dog, right? But that's actually not the ideal posture for your wrist. Your wrist works way better and your fingers work way better if you can keep it straight. Yeah? You want to learn a chord? Okay, so keep your thumb in the middle of the fretboard. Yes. Give me this finger, your middle finger. All right, and you're going to put it on the second string on the second fret. Good. And now give me your third finger and put it on the third string, but still on the second fret. So slide these back a little bit. Yeah. Pinch as hard as you can. Use just the tips. Main thing, you've got to keep your thumb down because you're pinching, right? Pinching is how you make the guitar happen. It's not pulling back against the strings. It's pinching, right?
Pretty.
That was good. All right.
Good morning, Pawleys Island peeps. Today's special guest is Genesis Lorraine, and she is giving Chelsea a little guitar lesson. It is 39 degrees here in beautiful Pawleys Island. We're at the town hall, so just want to welcome everyone. And this is going to be fun. Lorraine, Miss Lorraine, is that what your students call you?
They can call me just Genesis or Miss Genesis, is fine.
If I had a name like Genesis, I would have everyone call me Genesis because I love it. What a unique name. So tell everybody a little bit where you're from and a little bit about you. How did you get into music, and what did that look like in your, how did you know you wanted to be a music teacher?
Okay, well, like so many people here, I'm from central Pennsylvania. I came here for some new music opportunities because I was really excited about the theaters and the gigging opportunities that are down here. So I moved down here in May of this year. In terms of what got me into music, I just was always musical. I was kind of a weird kid, and I got along better with my Disney cartoons than with other kids. So I just, in the elementary and preschool, I was getting solos, and I was the loudest singer, and I was in the band, and I auditioned into everything, and I just stuck with it, and it really directed my life. And then as an adult, one of my piano teacher actually suggested, hey, you've got a gift with kids, I think you ought to teach. And that's how I got here.
But you don't just teach kids. You've taught all the way up to 70 or 80 years old, right?
I have.
Yes.
My oldest student was a 67-year-old male who wanted to take singing lessons.
Okay. So what if right now you're teaching guitar, you're teaching piano, you're teaching voice? Mm-hmm. Where'd you go to school? Tell us a little bit about that.
I went to college at Elizabethtown College, which is in central Pennsylvania, and I studied under Dr. Ann Gross and Jonathan Hayes.
Great. Is that Ann Gross the one that recommended you to teach?
No, the one who recommended, I did teach in college as well, but the one who recommended that I go full-time to teaching was Skip, my piano teacher, who had me when I was about, he probably had me from the age of 8 through my adulthood.
That's great. So tell people a little bit right now how you're doing this with COVID and everything? How are you doing this in a safe way right now?
So we've got a couple of options for safety in terms of COVID. First of all, virtual lessons are an option. But for kids under the age of 10, virtual lessons can be very difficult. So our face-to-face lessons, firstly, there's only one student in the studio at a time. Secondly, if we are adults, then we are masked. And I'm leaving that up to parents in terms of how they want to handle. Do you want me to design the lesson around this amount of space? Do you want me to design the lesson around taking the masks on and off, or talking about washing our hands? It's really designed around each child and each family member.
Sure. So I'm just making sure the sound is good. Richard told us the sound is not perfect, so we're trying to raise the sound so everyone can hear you, because this is a really good time. We're here at the town hall in Pawleys Island. Because of the wind out of the west this morning, we're blocking it so that you can meet Genesis and you can hear all about what she does as a teacher. She's a music teacher. So tell us if the sound is better, please. That would be wonderful. So we have a handy dandy fancy microphone. Sounds much better right now, my wife says. Lisa, thank you, Lisa. I think when you stepped forward, it really helped. So you were teaching Chelsea guitar a little bit. You had her strum a couple things. Anything else you want to do there? You want to talk? Can you talk more about your small business? I mean, tell. What would you like to talk about now?
Let's talk about how music can help people and hold people in a time like this. So our experience of music as human beings is a totally holding one, right? Our experience of music as students is a full brain and body experience. Music is actually stored in the whole brain, both hemispheres, and in your hands and in your feet. And that's why, for instance, Alzheimer's patients seem to come back to life when they hear music that means something to them. So the advantage of that for a student, first of all, it never leaves you. Those skills stay with you for your whole life, right? For children, it can help to develop impulse control. It can help to develop emotional integration. So like being able to talk about your feelings in a healthy way instead of throwing those tantrums. And for teenagers, it really can give you a sense of pride and identity. And I have a background in music psychology, so I'm really, really proud of how well I'm able to work with almost anybody. For adults, there's benefit too. Keeping up old skills or starting something new is really good for your neuroplasticity, aka your brain. Everybody loves the brain. It can be good for arthritis. I can go on and on. I'll talk your ear off.
Well, that's great. That's really interesting. So in your life personally, is that what music helped you with? I mean, how did music help you personally in your life?
You know, I had a really, how do I want to put this? I had a really tumultuous young life. It was really a difficult upbringing, and music really did stabilize me. I mean, music held me together. It gave me that sense of identity, a sense of pride and accomplishment that I wasn't really getting in other academic areas except English. And as I came forward into my adult life and realized the tremendous healing power of music, I started to understand my purpose here.
I love it. Well, that's really great. So I appreciate you reaching out, and you know, you're basically a private teacher for music, all kinds of music. What is your do you have a favorite that you like to teach? If you had to pick one, could you?
I don't think that I could. No, I don't think that I could. I really love the variety.
How about performing?
To perform, it's got to be singing.
Okay.
I'm a singer by trade. I was Ariel by the age of 5.
I love it. I love it.
So singing was my primary instrument, but I play a lot of piano. I've done the dueling piano, so all last year I gigged doing dueling pianos, and just like a different gig than Ariel. And right now I'm actually working up a show to do princess pianos for kids' birthday parties. So look out for that one because it's coming.
Yes. So, what does a singing lesson look like? How does that start?
The first singing lesson, should
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
the
sure.
demo? Sure. Okay. You just look so bored and cold. Okay. First step to singing well, right? You've gotten some of this in choir. Here, I'll get this out of your way. Okay.
We have the alarm set, by the way. So, if in 5 minutes till 7, we're running to the beach.
Running to the beach.
Yes, together.
So first thing with voice is that your entire body is your instrument. It's not just here, right? And it's not just here. Your teacher's always saying, sing from your diaphragm, right? Right? But it's not just there. It's actually the whole way down in your feet and the whole way up to your eyebrows. I know, right? So the first thing that you've really got to understand is your feet should be balanced. If you got your feet stood together like this, or together like this, or standing like this, or anything like that, it's not going to work as well when you want to breathe. Okay? Yeah. Yes. So, but I like what you're doing with your knees there, right? I'm sure you've been told by now that if you sing with your knees locked, you're going to pass out. I don't know if you've heard that. Good thing to know. Don't sing with your knees locked. You will pass out.
Wow.
Okay? Yes. So, keep the knees a little bent, right? So if I was going to push you, you wouldn't fall, but you would kind of move a little bit, right? Okay, so you want to float your hips straight over your knees, and then here's where the magic happens, right? I once had an opera teacher who said to me, Genesis, you have to be fat to sing, right? You have to release your abs, because here is where you actually control the air. Not here, not even here, but down here, right? So I want you to take a big breath. I want you to yawn and imagine that all the air is coming straight into your belly. In your belly. And then go. It turned into a real yawn. Right? So if you pull here, if you squeeze here, that's where the power. Sorry, it'd be too loud. But that's where the power really comes from. It's from down here. Yes? Should we keep going?
Sure.
Okay.
This is fun.
This is what I do. I love this so much. Okay? So when you come up, here is your diaphragm, right? This is the muscle that your teachers are like, sing from your diaphragm, sing from your diaphragm, and they're right. The diaphragm it goes through your body like this. So it's not just like a scarf that's wrapped around you. It goes through, and it pushes up on your lungs. So this is the muscle that you're using when you breathe out, or when you run and you're breathing heavily. That's the muscle going, right? Yeah. So get your good posture and your bent knees, right? And your wiggly hips. Gray squirrel. Just kidding. And take a nice deep breath and see if you can feel your diaphragm moving. Feels weird, right? Right? So you're going to keep coming up. You want to roll your shoulders back, right? Put your wings in their holsters in the back. And you want your chest to just stay up. Stay where it is. So if you imagine an arrow, it's pointing up like this, right? Okay, so now I want you to take a deep breath. Don't move this, only move this. Good. Nice control. Feels weird, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But this is breathing for singing. If you train yourself to breathe this way, your voice will never crack. It'll become strong. You'll be able to sing long phrases. You'll be able to sing high notes. You'll be able to sing all kinds of things that you wouldn't be able to sing if you just went, yeah.
That's really interesting.
Thank you.
Yes. So do you have a favorite moment so far in your teaching? How long you've been teaching? You've been teaching like 10 years, more than that?
About 10 years.
Do you have a favorite like success story or a moment that you remember that is your highlight so far, where you just knew you were doing exactly what you were supposed to do in life?
I had a lot, but I'll share with you the story of one child who came to me for piano lessons, and he was with me for a long time. He he and his mom were going through a rough move. It wasn't going as planned. They ended up staying at a friend's house for a while because I think something was going on with the house, and he just didn't have access to his piano for a few weeks. And a couple weeks was enough time to completely derail him. And then after that, it turned into like 4 weeks of just sitting at the piano and crying, right? So what we did was we stopped the piano lessons and we just took it to some percussion. So we had an egg shaker, we had a drum, we had a xylophone. And from doing that and just playing those games with him over time, he gradually started to ask, oh, well, maybe we could play my piano music on the xylophone, right? And then that turned into, oh, well, maybe we could just go play the piano some more. And the way that I was able to just bring him back to wanting to play the piano, it still makes me cry a little bit every time.
That's great.
So, but I've got a lot of stories like that. Every kid is so unique and so important and so special, and I work really, really hard to build that sense of personal value and that sense of self-esteem with all my kids.
That's great. So I imagine you teach all levels, right? So how do you determine what they're born with as far as talent? How do you determine that? Do you see a difference in like people that are just naturally gifted with music, or do you feel like that's something that's learned?
Everyone has different potentials. Just like some kids have a higher propensity for math. Some kids have a higher propensity for English. Sunset's coming.
Yes, that's the alarm. Let's start walking.
Right.
Do you want to put your things in your car?
Yes.
Okay, we have time.
Okay.
Hey, Holly, good morning to you.
Yes, you look like you're shivering.
So we're going to go put our things in the car, and then we're going to run to the beach to see the sunrise. Genesis, you having fun?
Yeah.
Good. This your first time out here at the beach, or no?
No, I've been to this, I've been here before.
Okay. That's our first time being at the town hall. As far as walking over there, it's pretty nice. So we have about 4 minutes till sunrise. So you actually have a sign on the side of your car. I love it.
I do lessons at your house also. You have options.
I love it. What a great thing. You're a walking billboard.
A driving one at least.
What an entrepreneur. Is there any question that you wish I had asked that I haven't asked that you feel like you need to share?
I don't know. Not that I can think of.
No?
Wow, we're going to get the sunrise with the full moon.
Yes, we have a beaver moon. Do you know what that means?
No.
I don't either.
I said something about, like, they built a dam because of it.
I should have investigated that.
A beaver moon.
A beaver moon.
I did see a fox on the way here.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the other side of when I was looking for you.
You saw a cat.
Yeah, a cat jumped in front of our car.
Oh, man.
So when's the last time you saw a sunrise?
Whew. This is a special occasion. Just put it like that. It's been a long time.
Yes.
Probably a few years. But you get up and do this every day.
We have since June 10th.
What inspired the show?
So we were, Lisa and I were just kind of upset with ourselves for not getting out to the ocean and just kind of in a funk. Mm-hmm. And so we decided to make a change. And it's just, once we started, we couldn't stop. It was really exciting. And it's really changed our lives. It's become a habit.
Mm-hmm. That's on the exercise walk.
And Chelsea loves it too. Yeah, Fridays is where we bring a animal.
Plastic forever.
Yes.
We're taking it off glass.
Yes.
Showcase it on the sunrise to snorkeling thing. Or we tried how to get a dock.
Yes.
So we bring out here to the beach and we take videos of it and shots of it and we like play with it and introduce it to people and animals. And then we bring it back. And we don't really know if they get adopted or not.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Friday is usually the only day I come, so.
So I don't have any more questions for me, but I do have more questions for you.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to flip around the interview, but
Yeah.
what do you recommend? What activities are there that you recommend for beach time in the winter? This will be my first winter living at the beach.
Wow. So there is an activity coming up where people go jump in the ocean. Like it's a fun, you know how they do that?
Polar bear swim?
Yeah, kind of like a polar bear swim.
Ah.
There is something like that coming up. And they do it, I think, as like a fundraiser for something local. We do have some beach sweeps where we clean the beach a couple times a month. And then the other activity is to go get oysters.
Yeah.
Have you ever had oysters?
I love oysters and I would love to learn how to harvest my own.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You have to go get a fishing license,
Okay.
a saltwater fishing license, and then we can take you.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
As long as it doesn't get us stuck. That's what he's famous for. Look, keep in the nature break about 2 or 3 times for that.
So high tide is right now. It's actually like 7:11 this morning is high tide.
Yeah, this is going to be a great sunrise.
So since we started doing this, we've done a little research on getting up early and seeing the sunrise. And one of the interesting things that doctors don't really totally understand is that these colors we're seeing this moment right now, these unique colors that are undescribable, opens up your mind in a way that, and clears your mind in a way that if you didn't experience this, you wouldn't be able to do that with your mind, with otherwise, because you cannot see these. There's actually something scientific about these colors and how it helps your mind heal.
It's fascinating.
Isn't that fascinating? Kind of like music, and that when you use that, you said the entire mind, right? Your entire brain, it actually helps you heal, right? It can help you heal.
Yeah.
Y'all got to see Chelsea. Chelsea, the sun is that way. Oh.
I think one of my favorite examples of that with brain healing is the TBI kind of stuff that they've done. So there was a politician several years ago who got shot in the head. Do you remember that? I don't even remember.
I
her
don't
name.
remember.
But she was shot in the Broca's area of the brain, which is the area of the brain that controls speech. And so she lost her ability to speak, but they were able to rehab her brain essentially by teaching other parts of her brain how to speak using lyrics that she knew already. And that's something else that you can see in late stage dementia patients, is if you go back, I've got a whole catalog of songs from the 1900s to the 1920s because of the work that I did in nursing homes. And if you bring back, they remember every lyric, even if they've become nonverbal.
Mm.
It's incredible.
Old hymns.
Yep. Old hymns, war songs. Pack up your troubles in your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile. That kind of stuff.
So one of the things we like to do is to share good news. And do you have that on your phone that I sent you? Can you share that with us?
The psalm?
Yes.
Psalm 146:1-2. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, my soul. I will praise the Lord all my life. I will sing praise to my God as long as I live.
And that's exactly what you do with your music. Your gift being used to help others and to help yourself is a praise to God, isn't it?
It is. A praise to my sense of divine purpose. That is what I was put here to do. And it took me a long time to find that kind of center. To really know this is my mission. This is what I was put here for. This is what these experiences were here to teach me. This is what these people were here to teach me. And this is what I'm here to give, to pass on. Pass the light on.
Hmm. So the sun's getting ready to peak right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a horseshoe crab.
Yes, William, it's 39 degrees and the water temperature is 68. So a lot of people like to fish too, Genesis. This time of year, the fishing is fantastic. It really is. The sea trout are coming in and they are pretty amazing. So not a lot of volleyball and things like that going on this time of year, but
No sunbathing?
no sunbathing.
But the fish. I would love to go down to the oyster beds
Yes,
and learn how to do that.
it's pretty neat. You have to have gloves, but it really is neat.
Do you have to have like those big rubber pants?
They're good to have, but no, just boots or old shoes. You feel like holding this for a second?
Sure.
There you go. So you sang for us for a second and it was beautiful.
Oh,
Are
thank
you
you.
a soprano?
I trained as a mezzo soprano and as a soprano,
Okay.
but I think that I sing more mezzo. But I have some high notes I'm proud of.
Do you?
Yes.
So what's your, if you were auditioning for something, what would you audition with?
It depends on what I was auditioning for. If I was just doing like a talent show, let's see. What have I been working on lately? It's hard. I love so much music. And I love to sing so much music.
Do you have a favorite genre?
No. I mean, seriously, from opera to Broadway to classic rock to indie to folk, I really try to stay as open as I can. I know what I don't like,
What is
but I
that?
like everything.
What don't you like?
I don't like AutoTune. I'm sure you can imagine that. Someone who worked for 10 years to train my voice to have to compete with AutoTune is like a slap in the face. It's like a cold a bucket of ice water.
So
on
what
your
is
head.
AutoTune?
AutoTune is a digital programming that can be used to adjust the voice to make it sound like it's on the correct pitch.
Ah.
The first person who really used it with any repute was actually Celine Dion. But what she did was she, I think it was, do you believe in life after love? She used AutoTune in there, but she used it in a way that it was like in the background and kind of artistic, right? It wasn't meant to replace her ability to sing.
Mm-hmm.
But in some ways, what it's become is just a crutch for the industry. And it's so sad because there's so many talented singers in the world who need those jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I want to like give you a scarf.
So you're used to this weather, being from PA. This is nothing for you, right?
It's true. This is like pretty standard. It was like this in October in Pennsylvania. Now up there, my family's so jealous because I'll get up and tell them, oh, it's 65, sunny 65 in Surfside Beach.
Is that where you're living, up there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if people are in Myrtle Beach, people are in Murrells Inlet, people are in Pawleys, people are in Georgetown, you'll come to them, right, if they have a piano, and you'll teach them on piano or you teach them on guitar. That's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of options. There is a travel fee if
Yeah.
I come to your home, but it really doesn't work out to be too much more than coming to my studio in Surfside. And again, the virtual lessons are always an option. They've been an option for a long time. I've taught virtually for a while. I have students in California. I've had students in Oklahoma. I've had students across the country. The furthest away that I ever taught was in Borneo.
Where's that?
Borneo is an island in Southeast Asia underneath, the top of the island is Malaysian territory. So I was in Malaysia. And I can show you that video if you'd like, but I had the opportunity to work with a group of middle school age students who had never sung in a choir before. And I taught them a hymn. I don't remember which one though. Whew.
Yeah, holding that thing's good for your shoulders, isn't it? You feel them?
Yeah, I feel it. You need a tripod, my friend.
I had one, but then we broke it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know what you're getting for Christmas.
You're funny.
So are you a native? Are you from here?
Kind of. I'm not really. I was born in Virginia and then lived in Pensacola, grew up in Pensacola, Florida, and then came here for college. Coastal Carolina University. Go Chanticleers. So I feel like I'm a native, but I'm not. But I'm 50, right? So I've been here a long time. I can't believe I'm 50.
I can't believe I'm 30. Did you turn 50 this year?
Yes.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. You
Birthday's
too.
February. Well, my mom's is December 24th.
Yes.
Christmas Eve.
Yes.
It looks like the clouds are chasing the sunrise.
Yes. You're so patient. Is that important
Am
to
I?
be a music teacher and to be patient? That's important, isn't it?
Yes.
You're demonstrating incredible patience right now.
Especially when you start them as young as 4. You've really got to be willing to come into their world and to be where they are. And you've got to remember, like a 4-year-old doesn't remember. They don't know how to move their fingers yet. Oh, I'm sorry.
Speaking of moving fingers.
Get it out of there. I just want to put this hand in my pocket so badly. But you also, and that's another way that music teaches patience. Because if you want to advance, you can't be impatient. This is a journey of 1,000 miles that you must take in single steps. And you can't be impatient. There it is.
It's about 7:15.
Maybe. It's coffee or hot chocolate time.
It's school time for me.
Yes.
Mm.
You're correct.
There it is.
So repeat what you just said. It's a journey of 1,000 miles.
It's that you must take in single steps.
Mm.
And sometimes along the way you need to rest, and sometimes along the way you'll get lost, and sometimes along the way you'll stumble. Music is like life. But if you persist, then the rewards are incredible and long-lasting and life-changing, right? And I think that music did teach me patience with myself, as well as with the people around me.
Boy, this is beautiful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So generally, this is when we flip it around and we sign off.
All right.
So this is kind of neat. We kind of do this. We turn this thing. There she is, y'all. Genesis, our first small business on the Pawleys Island Sunrise. Chelsea, watch up here. On the Pawleys Island Sunrise and Surf Report, our first small business, Genesis Lorraine. We're so glad you joined us and shared such incredible wisdom. Chelsea, what do you say to Miss Genesis?
Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Yes, she gave her a little bit of a singing lesson and also guitar lesson, so you can go back and watch that. Best way for people to reach you, obviously, is to message you through social media, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And the phone number's right on the side of the car, which is cool. It is a Pennsylvania phone number. I'm going to let you say it.
You can call or text 717-888-0337.
Wonderful. Y'all have an amazing day, and may God bless you, keep you, and help you make great choices today. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks again, Genesis. You're incredible.
Thank you.